The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What's up, everyone? Staniel Smooth here. I wanted to show you guys a cool thing we're doing. This podcast is sponsored by Canada Dips, the newest lineup to the dip game, but in CBD form. The Canada Dips lineup features products made for every man's lifestyle. All tins are proudly crafted from the hills of Humboldt County in California. It's filled with flavor and will give you that good vibe that CBD brings to the room. So what are you waiting for? Use the promo code BELLYUP20 in all caps at CanadaDips.com for 20% off your next order. That's BELLYUP20 at CanadaDips.com.
It's time to BS.
I was told I would be a real boy. That was my sound effect. Now wait for it. Wait for it. Aha!
There it is.
We have two soundboards in this department. Jack has arrived at the nick of time.
Swooping in out of nowhere.
Swooping
Per the usual.
Swooping in out of nowhere, as he tends to do on a regular basis. But for those of you wondering, this is the third time I'm trying to record this. The previous two times were both live streams, and I've realized that now live streams are just probably not my thing. They're a pain in the ass to edit.
I don't edit them. Like that's the thing. Like when I've done live streams before, I just hit live and I just go. Like you don't.
Well, the thing
there's
is,
not really a whole lot to it.
I
for me,
clip
at
them.
least.
I clip them.
Okay, that's fair.
why. That's why they're a pain in the ass to do it. Because we need to get clipped.
It's worth it in the end, but
we need to get clipped. Crickets. New sound. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. My name is Staniel Smooth. This is Time to BS. Jack has joined.
Have we established the soundboard thing already?
Yes, Jack is a soundboard. Hey! This is going to be a clusterfuck.
This absolutely is.
This is
Especially, I'm going to click the wrong one once or twice. I know it, too.
Watching the beach just like, I don't know, like the Pornhub theme.
No, I don't have that.
That'd be, you know what? Hold that thought.
Oh, my God.
I mean, at this point, why don't I have that?
This is how we get canceled.
This is how
in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024.
This is how, and it all changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Jack, what's on the menu today?
Oh, there's a lot.
Oh, good God, there's so much going on.
I'm laughing now. I haven't gotten going about the Kings yet.
We'll get to hockey.
I'm sure there will be a minor discussion about that. I'm sure we're here to talk football playoffs mostly, though.
There's hockey talk. There's plenty of football discussion, pro and college. Yeah.
What a wild week.
What a very interesting week. I think that's putting it kindly.
Yeah.
So, Jack, ask me how I'm doing.
How is the Seahawks fan doing?
How is the Seahawks fan doing, as I've had 2 days to really think about this?
I think I was the one that told you to. I literally, just messaged you out of nowhere in all caps, like, yo, Pete Carroll's gone, or whatever it was that I said.
Yeah, so I didn't believe you at first.
No.
And then, I'm not going to lie, I jumped up for joy at first. And then, as the hours went by and as the days have gone by, I have felt how would I put this? Somber, to put it that way.
I guess that's a fair term, yeah.
Which is interesting because for those who have followed the show for the entire time, even pre-time to BS will know my thoughts on Pete Carroll. But at the same point, I can't help but thinking a bit of remorse of, holy shit, this actually happened. I don't know if remorse is the right word to describe how I'm feeling. But it's mostly of the, wow, they actually did it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how you I think that's a very appropriate way to feel after he's been there for, what was it? How long has it been? 12 years?
14 years.
And it's like the change had to happen, it felt like, at this point.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that. The change had to happen. The change had to happen. I've been arguing this for 7 years.
There have been talks in recent years, especially like with the power struggle that happened between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and how all that went down. And yeah, what Pete Carroll did do in his earlier years too, especially, and how he got the Seahawks their first Super Bowl. Obviously, that can't be discounted, but at the same time, these last few years, you could argue he has not done terribly, but the Seahawks haven't moved forward at all in the slightest.
Yeah, so
like they missed the playoffs this year. Last year, I think they were out in the first round.
They were out. Although in the first. Well, here's my argument that I've always brought up the last couple of years. Your entire division's going to get better next year.
Pretty much.
The Rams are going to get better. The
already have gotten better. I don't know what we're. That's going to be a whole different discussion.
That's enough of you right now. The Niners are going to get infinitely better in the next couple of years, assuming they don't go into a cap wall. And then there's the Cardinals.
They're the mystery in this division, aren't they?
They really are. So, not only is your entire division getting better, the entire conference in the NFC is getting better. The entire NFC is going to get better. And the defense, which you pride yourself on as a defensive head coach, which is your specialty, if they were to how would I put this? They were 28th in total defense this year. They were last against the rush. Not only were they last against the rush, but they were 4th in sacks in the entire league, 1st in pressures, 27th against the pass. Am I wrong with that? But they're bottom 5 in almost every single statistical category on defense.
I actually have no idea how to verify that.
But, I mean, I'm sure you could look up Pro Football Focus. I mean, that's what you guys use. So, that's probably your defense, which you pride yourself on, and you look at the roster from top to bottom, they have talent. They absolutely have talent. Well, you're a Rams fan, so if we were talking about the Rams, you would say absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I would. I have a whole ramble to go on there, honestly. But.
Well, the Seahawks defense as a whole, you can look at them on the roster-wise, and it's a pretty good roster top to bottom. It's not the 49ers roster by any stretch, but it's still a pretty good-looking roster. The fact that not only your defense gave up on average of 30 a game, but your offense only scored 17 a game on average. That's not good enough. With the trio of receivers that you have, with the weapons that you have at wide receiver, tight end, running back, a good offensive line, say what you want, good offensive line, and Geno Smith, who is as consistent as you can get right now at quarterback. To be determined, of course. That's not good enough, and a change had to be made. Yeah, it sucks that the fact they actually did it, and I credit Jody Allen for having the cojones to do it. When, let's be honest, her brother would not have done this. Paul Allen would not have done this.
No. And I think too, when back to like kind of your earlier point as well, I think it can be a little bit. I don't know what the right word to use is there, but like we need to make clear he's not like leaving the team. He's staying as an advisor, so he's not gone. He's like what Bruce Arians did with the Buccaneers. He's still in the building. He's still helping the team out. He's just not on the sideline anymore.
No, which is honestly the best decision you could have made. And if I'm being honest, I'm calling Dan Quinn up tomorrow without even hesitation. I'm giving the Cowboys a call and say, hey, I don't care if this is tampering or not. We need to talk to DQ. Because he is, like, I said this with Mike last episode. The only reason Dan Quinn did not take a head coaching job last offseason is because he was preparing for the inevitable Seahawks job to open up. And that is the hottest job in the NFL market right now.
It's up there for sure.
It's definitely top 3.
I'm literally on my other screen right now. I'm looking at a tweet from PFF that's saying asking what the best head coach opening in the NFL is, and there's teams like the Chargers, Titans, Raiders. I think the Raiders, for starters, they're stupid if they don't keep Antonio Pierce.
They're stupid if they don't keep AP. That's absolutely honest. But like
what he has done to that locker room, I've never seen.
We'll get to that later. We'll definitely touch on the Raiders, but
all right, I'll wait. I'll pump the brakes there.
Dan Quinn, because we tend to do that. We tend to go off track like crazy, but like Quinn would be perfect. He's been here on 2 different occasions, coordinated the defense to coordinate one of the greatest defenses ever. And another thing that he preaches is violence on the football field. Watch the Cowboys play. They hit people hard. Watch those Falcons teams when he was the head coach. Say what you want with the defense, they hit people hard. Really hard. And the Seahawks haven't done that in years.
No, I mean when I think of the Seahawks and hard hitting, the only thing I think of is DK Metcalf shoving a Ahkello Witherspoon after the whistle.
By the way, that dude, I would not want to pick a fight with DK under any circumstances.
Well, DK is the one picking fights, if anything. Like,
have you seen how big he is?
He is. He's huge.
Jack, let's be honest here. You're what, 5'8"?
A little taller.
5'9"?
Only a little. Around 5'9", 5'10".
Okay. He'd snap you like,
I don't even know. That's being generous, honestly.
Like a toothpick.
I know. I'm not saying that I want to pick a fight with that guy. I'm saying he's the one that's picking fights.
He has thigh arms.
Yes.
He has tharms.
What a word that you just used.
He has tharms.
You just made up.
He has thigh arms. His arms are bigger than his thighs.
He's also a crybaby, though. I think he's a big crybaby.
Okay. Not arguing that, but also in his defense, when you are that skilled of a receiver and you are not helping your team at all, I looked up the crazy stat. Did you know he's the only Seahawk receiver to have 1,000 yards this year? And
Jesus Christ.
And he just got to 1,000. Like, he barely got there. Tyler Lockett and all of his skills could not get 1,000. Jackson Smith-Njigba, granted, rookie, did not get to 1,000. Noah Fant didn't get to 500 yards. There's the other thing. Your offense has been putrid for years. And you constantly preach on run the football, run the football, run the football. You know what? They were bottom 10 in rushing offense. They couldn't do anything.
Yeah, with how good Kenneth Walker is, that kind of feels like a waste.
Not just Walker. You saw Charbonnet.
Charbonnet was good too.
Yeah, Charbonnet's are good back. And they got a third guy in Kenny McIntosh who can run. And I understand you like to run the bell cow like crazy, and you believe in a bell cow system. But Chris Carson had to retire because of a neck injury, and you ran him into the ground. Marshawn Lynch had to retire twice because you ran him into the ground. Granted, he could have done it.
He literally came back to the Seahawks.
He came back to the Seahawks, and they could do nothing with him. Nothing. and you ran this guy into the ground. Again, I could get mad. I could. But I'll end this conversation with change had to be made. As much as it sucks, this had to be done. It had to be done. And if they didn't make this change, quite frankly, you'd be staring at the same record the Giants are in right now, which is top 5 pick in the draft, top 5 or top 10 or top 5 pick at worst, and you'd be making stupid trades like the Jamal Adams one, which, by the way, send him to the moon.
Yeah, we don't need to go down any rabbit holes related to Jamal Adams.
We don't need to go down that rabbit hole, otherwise the entire U Stadium crowd will come after us. And saying, don't
make me, as a Rams fan, get into the Bobby Wagner rabbit hole either, because that's just funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
He said he wanted to be on a winning team. He did. 1 year went wrong for the Rams.
Okay, Jack.
Wasn't even his fault.
Okay, we'll get to King's talk after the break. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
That wasn't even King's talk.
We'll get to Rams, Kings, Jack stuff. I like that sound. I'm going to use the cricket sound a lot more. And then the Yoshi one. Wait, what else do I have here? All right, that's breaking news. Okay, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Time to BS. Hey guys, it's Daniel Smooth from Time to BS. Now, don't lie. I know you want some great deals on those events you go to, like your Jonas Brothers concerts or Met games or stuff like that. Wait, did I say Jonas Brothers concert? Anyway, so that's why at BellyUp we have partnered up with SeatGeek. Use the promo code BellyUpSports at all caps at SeatGeek.com to get $20 off your first purchase. Now that is a sweet deal. Don't forget, promo code BellyUpSports at all caps at SeatGeek.com.
It's time to BS.
We can talk puck.
I don't even know if I want to do it anymore.
Really?
I have not had any fun as a hockey fan right now. This last week or so longer, honestly.
Yeah, please update me, because I've been bamboozled by how the Canucks are playing. I've been bamboozled how the Jets are playing. I've been bamboozled how the Islanders are playing, because, I'm a fan. Duh. So, Jack, please update me to what the hell happened to your Kings.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Thank you for your contribution to the show.
There you go. That's all. That's. I've done my piece. I'm out.
He's done his part.
No, it's been brutal. It's been unwatchable hockey. I mean, this team, it feels like they were scoring at will to open the year. They were scoring like 5 goals a game, it felt like, for such a long time. 11-0 on the road. That's an NHL record. No team has ever gone 11-0 on the road before to start a season. And immediately after that, we ran into your New York Islanders,
which their defense has been inconsistent, to put it kindly.
Anders Lee,
here we go,
tried to murder 2 people.
I'm going to mute myself real quick.
He took I see him laughing behind his mic. He took out Gavrikov. He took out Vladislav Gavrikov, who's been one of the Kings' better defenders. He's back now, but the soul of the team just has not been there since Gavrikov had been hurt. They've been having so much fun, like in the locker room and whatnot, like after wins. But they're just like not. It feels like they're not interested right now, and it feels like more accurately the coaching staff is not interested right now. I don't know what Todd McClellan's doing. He's like just not. He keeps playing the ineffective like Kopitar, Kempe, Doughty line in overtime. They've been ineffective. They keep going to overtime. They're not scoring. They're just lazily moving around the ice. They look disinterested. They look tired. Like, why don't like fast, like high scoring guys like Trevor Moore or Quentin Byfield get a chance in overtime? Like, and then the power play is just abysmal. It's terrible. They can't score on the power play to save their lives. Shorthanded, they're fine. That's the thing about the Kings and their special teams is that they're always like inconsistent. They're up and down. When their power play is doing well, their shorthanded is not doing well. When their shorthanded is doing well, their power play is trash. And Todd McClellan seems to think that the only way to fix it is by rotating people in and out of lines up and down. And it's just like, it's not working. Everything that he's trying. I have that one too. It's funny.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, shit.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah!
No, but for real, it's the.
I feel like we're going to play around with Jack's soundboard a lot.
Yeah.
Did you see my text, by the way?
I did, yeah.
Isn't that a good idea?
It's lovely.
But let's just be honest here. I mean, because your wrestling knowledge is what? Like, scale 1 to 10, like...
Doesn't exist.
Okay. So
like a -2.
So I guess I have the wrestling
Not a -2, like a 1, probably.
So I have the wrestling knowledge out of the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
let me finish though what I need to say. This is because like I think that the issue with the Kings is more coaching staff wise. He's having so much fun doing that.
I very much am.
I think it's more coaching staff wise because people all over the place are pointing their fingers right at the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. It's not his fault. You're shaking your head like it's not his fault. I don't have the stats directly in front of me, but you just need to watch a few of these games and you realize that he's playing well. He's moving the puck well. He's making good decisions out on the ice. He is not playing bad at all. You watch him play. You see him like in practice. He's smiling. People think he's disinterested. He doesn't want to be here. He is not the problem. And when you lose 7 games in a row, you cannot put that on just one out of 23 players and have that one player changing night after night after night. This is a team issue, and the change has to happen from the top. Because if it doesn't, you're wasting one of the best starts to a season I've ever seen. And you can't waste that. This team made this trade to be a contender right here, right now. If they do not win a Stanley Cup, like the window is open, and if they don't win a Stanley Cup, sounds like we have breaking news.
Pierre-Luc Dubois, and by the way, in 38 games played, 7 goals, 9 assists for 16 points, and a -9 rating.
Not great. But I think what a lot of people have been saying too is that like which I kind of agree with honestly, is that he needs like a scoring decisive winger to help him out. And I think that they found it. This is my issue with Todd McClellan. They found it by putting him with Adrian Kempe. They played 2 games together, kicked ass, and then they got split back up. Like, what are we doing here? It's just a completely wrong decision, and it's like you can't blame it all on Pierre-Luc Dubois or like one player, like I just said, when like the team as a whole just looks disinterested. They're only scoring twice a game. They keep blowing 2-0 leads. They keep blowing leads late and losing in overtime of the shootout. I don't care. I'm not one of those people who looks at the record as 0-3-4, like, oh yeah, they got some pity points. No, I don't care about that. They're 0-7. They're 0-7. They have to start winning games now, because if they go through the rest of this road trip without a win, this is their longest road trip of the season. They still haven't won a game. They haven't won a game since it became 2024. And if that doesn't change soon, heads have to roll.
The Kings, by the way, are currently third in the Pacific Division, by the way.
They have like 4 games in hand. It was 5. Now they only have 4 games in hand over Vegas and Vancouver. But that doesn't matter when you're not winning.
By the way, if you want an understanding of how stupidly unbelievable the Canucks are playing right now, they currently have 59 points and have a plus 54 goal differential, which is tops in the NHL by 10.
Yeah, I need to.
The closest one is Winnipeg.
I need to give the Canucks credit, honestly, because I didn't think they'd be keeping this up. Rick Tocchet was a home run hire.
Wow.
Absolute. Let me find the sound. I got a perfect sound for this. Hang on.
Oh,
there you go.
Wait, play it again. My fault. Ah, yes.
That's what Rick Tocchet was for the Canucks. Like, he has just been the man ever since they hired him. He's been, like, doing exactly what they needed to do, making all the right choices. And it's like, you see the style of hockey that they're playing. And, like, no one would think it's sustainable. Nobody would think this isn't going to work. They're leading the division.
Wasn't Rick Tocchet with the Coyotes?
He was with, he was with the Coyotes. And then they hired him after he did like a season and a half with TNT. He's on the desk for TNT.
That's right.
So
wait a minute. Oh, that's right. He was with Tampa and then Pittsburgh for a bit. That's where I remember him. Wow. By the way, JT Miller should be considerate for the Hart Trophy.
Maybe.
He's like second in the league in points.
Here's the one thing that I should say.
Continue.
Too. This is going to be short. This is not going to be a rant.
No, you're good.
The one guy I cannot point fingers at with the LA Kings has been Cam Talbot. This dude has come out of nowhere and been a wall in goal.
I told you.
Yep.
I told you Talbot's good.
Was so wrong about Cam Talbot. I thought he was washed. I thought he was coming in looking like just like he didn't have what he used to have back in the day.
Dan was right.
And
Dan was right for once in his life. We're having too much fun with this soundboard, are we?
Well, yeah, we absolutely are. And he's come out of nowhere and he's saved. I'm not going to say saved, but he's like, yeah, I will say saved. He's saved the goaltending situation. You can't point any fingers at the Kings goalie situation, and he's been named to the All-Star game now. So returning to that Todd McClellan system, maybe that did help him out. I was just advocating for Todd to get fired, but like, yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't think Cam Talbot's the problem. I don't think he's been the problem, and we're just gonna have to see where this goes. I mean, the Kings aren't gonna lose every game from this point on. Like they're obviously not gonna just like go and lose like whatever 50 plus games they still have left to play this season. Like it's not that bad.
No,
but it is getting bad, and like 7 straight is unacceptable. The franchise record is 10 straight. If you let it get anywhere near that point, then change needs to be made.
If anyone's wondering how inconsistent some fans are, the Islanders, who currently have 48 points and are second or third place in the Metropolitan Division, who, by the way, were at one point second place in the entire Eastern Conference, tied behind a tiebreaker with the Rangers and the Bruins, they've been wanting Lane Lambert fired for weeks. And even after some wins, they've been wanting Lane Lambert fired. So the Kings are what are they, 6th in the Western Conference right now? Yeah, they're 6th. Yeah, they're 6th. I got the standings right here. Winnipeg leads the West with 60 points, followed by Vancouver. That's just shocking. Then it's the Avalanche, then the defending champion Knights. Yeah, I got the sound for you.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you.
That's how I feel about that for anyone who doesn't know.
Then it's Dallas, and then it's you guys. So you're not catching Vancouver unless if the Canucks fall off a cliff.
Maybe not.
You're going to catch the Knights.
I think the Kings, I was saying like all season long that the Kings have been a better team than the Golden Knights, and they have a better team than the Golden Knights this year.
They do.
I honestly still think that's true. It's just
that
has not been shown at all these last 7 games. Like everything that I've been like arguing for, saying like this is why the Kings are a better team, they're just not showing it over this rough stretch. And I hope it's just a slump. But it's just like when it keeps coming up game after game after game, it's like, is it really a slump or is there something worse going on?
You know what's something worse going on? Pittsburgh. Good God. Have you paid attention to the Penguins at all?
The retirement home Penguins.
Please. Oh, my God. You know how many people were picking the Penguins to win the Eastern Conference this year after they made the Erik Karlsson trade? You know how many people were doing that? A lot.
Too many.
A
because
lot.
If the Erik Karlsson trade was their reasoning for why they should win the East, then that's your first problem.
Okay, so Chris Letang and Erik Karlsson are essentially the same player.
Pretty much.
Thank you.
I kind of agree.
Thank you.
I don't watch them that often, but I will say,
No. They are the same player. They will get you 5 points a night, but then they suck on defense.
The point that I'm trying to say here is there's a reason why those of us who are fans of and actually pay attention to teams in the Eastern Conference or in the Western Conference, there's a reason most of us pointed and laughed at the NHL for giving Erik Karlsson the Norris Trophy. I was forgetting what it was called there. He won his second Norris Trophy in a row, and people were looking at it and going, do these people watch hockey?
Like, he stunk on defense. He stunk.
He's not him, to put it that way.
No. Erik Karlsson has not been the same for like 4 years. I think that's putting it kindly. But people are not going to point the finger at the lead cause of this whole thing. There are two people in this room that need to have the fingers pointed and then sent to the moon or eventually to the Temple of Doom. That's an outdated reference for those who get it. No?
No.
All right. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, by the way.
Okay, well, I knew that movie. I just didn't understand
Okay.
like the full. Okay.
Really? You know the movie but you didn't get the reference?
I don't know why I didn't get that reference. Like I know about the Temple of Doom.
That's for you. But Kyle Dubas and Mike Sullivan. I don't know, like the Kyle Dubas debate is something that's etched in my brain to
It's so weird, isn't it?
how do people find this man to be a good GM? How? Because I see this guy be a GM. He looks like every dude that gets pushed into a locker room in high school. But he also, for some reason, would be great at your math test. Who also somehow slings massive poo-tang. That sound is needed. But how in the world do people think Kyle Dubas is a good GM? So what? You won one playoff series in your entire time with the Maple Leafs. Good for
How long was he with the Leafs for?
Oh, God. When did Lamoriello get to the Islanders? 2018?
Something like that.
It's been around since then. But when Kyle Dubas signed with Pittsburgh...
Google it.
Yeah, Google it real quick, so I'm not wrong here. I can hear Jack's keyboard. But Kyle Dubas...
July 2014.
Close enough, but...
And he's won one playoff series since then.
He was named the GM when Lamoriello left in 2018.
I'm going to put it to you in about the simplest way possible. That does not get the job done at all. One playoff series since 2014.
Wait, well, one playoff series win since 2014.
Win since 2015. Yeah, no. No.
Kyle Dubas, the only reason he had a job for that long with Toronto is because he kept the core four together. That's the only reason he kept his job with the Leafs. And when he got hired by Pittsburgh, I said, well, that's not going to backfire at all. Because you know what? It has been. It has been. His first big move with the Penguins was to trade for Erik Karlsson. That trade has backfired. Because you know why? The Penguins are in cap hell for the next foreseeable future at this point. Or at least until Crosby and Malkin retire.
This is why we give them the retirement home jokes.
Yeah, that's why before we...
In fairness, Crosby is not playing bad at all.
No,
like
he's
Sidney
certainly not.
Crosby.
He's
certainly
not.
He's not the problem.
He's not the problem. They're going to point the finger at Sullivan because I'd be the first one to tell you I don't know. I think Mike Sullivan's a good coach. I think his time in Pittsburgh is dwindling, to put it kindly. But how? How do people think Kyle Dubas is the best GM in hockey? When guys like Steve Yzerman exist, when guys like Lou Lamoriello exist, when guys like, who's the guy in Vancouver? He exists.
Patrick Alvin.
Thank you.
Guy.
He's a good GM.
Yeah, he's a solid GM.
He's a solid GM. Doug Armstrong, probably not Doug Armstrong in St. Louis, but there's a lot of good GMs out there, and Dubas is certainly not in that argument. Because all he does is throw money against the wall and see if it sticks. That's what he's doing. That's what he did in Toronto. That's what he's doing now in Pittsburgh. And it's not going to last. Is that a fair argument to make?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to last.
It's not. It's not going to last. The problem the Penguins have that has been present even with the Steelers and the Pirates is that they don't fire anyone in Pittsburgh. They don't.
That's a Pittsburgh-wide problem. I mean, all we need to do is look at Matt Canada for most of the time. Like, he should have been gone ages ago.
By the way, he was the top choice for the Patriots before they hired Gerard Mayo, by the way.
I don't believe that.
I believe that 100%.
I don't believe that in the slightest.
I mean, look,
I thought they were going to hire Gerard Mayo the whole time.
I thought they were going to go after Vrabel, McDaniels for some stroke of luck, or just promote Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, could you imagine Bill O'Brien in charge of the Patriots?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I don't.
All right.
That's another rabbit hole.
We'll take a quick break. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll talk about some the head coaching decisions that are going to happen here. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Time to BS with Staniel Smith. Greetings, peeps. It is I, Staniel Smooth, here to bring you a new sponsor to Belly Up and Time to BS, DraftKings. If you're into sports betting and want to get on the action, say no more. Here at Belly Up, we're more than happy to bring you great content and great offers as well. That's why we're giving you this sweet deal at my attractive-ass voice. Go to dkng.co/bellyup150 to get $200 off when you bet $5 or more at DraftKings. Don't forget it! It's a sweet deal. I highly recommend you try it. Now, with that being said, back to the show!
It's time to BS.
I saw you reaching for your keyboard. Did you have a sound planned?
No, I didn't have a sound to play. I was just looking for for some pictures, for some stuff, projects.
Ah, I see. Interesting. What we forgot to touch on this. Mike Vrabel has been fired by the Tennessee Titans after 6 seasons and an AFC Championship appearance in 2019.
We were going to enter the whole head coaching discussion anyway.
There's a big giant rabbit hole in there somewhere. But, like, there are currently 7 job openings right now after previously 8 because Gerard Mayo got hired with the Patriots. I'm fascinated by that. That just...
Yeah, I think the system that they had set up there was built for that hire to happen should Belichick have ended up leaving. So I think that in itself, by the way, is something that should also be talked about. Let's
talk about that. Bill Belichick has and the Patriots have agreed to part ways after 24 seasons in New England. Not surprising.
It was going to, if there was any year it was going to happen, it was this year, because let's be completely honest, I'm not going to get into the whole, like, was this guy better than Brady or did Brady just carry him or whatever the hell it was. I'm not going to get into that whole debate.
No, we don't need to. Please.
You can't argue with what Belichick's career accomplishments are. You can't look at that resume and not say that he's one of the most accomplished head coaches ever.
Yeah, that's fair. Hell, look at Saban. Saban retired.
He did.
That was shocking.
What a day it was for coaching.
What a week.
A week, yeah, pretty much. Not just a day, a whole week. It was Saban that retired, and then that happened on the same day Pete Carroll left Seattle, and then the next day Belichick leaves New England.
Well, let's be honest here. I'm gonna, ramble on Saban real quick because I'm not gonna argue his accomplishments as a head coach. But who has Alabama played consistently? Like, let's be honest here. People claim he's the greatest coach in the history of college football. I'm sorry, Joe Paterno existed. I'm sorry, Bear Bryant existed. I'm not arguing his accomplishments, but Nick Saban has played Mercer consistently every week, other than like occasional 3-game stretch with Ole Miss, Georgia, and then Auburn. That's it. Right? Like, Alabama and those top blue-collar schools, like USC, like, I'll even throw Penn State in there. They play cakewalk schedules. And there's a reason why, like, I love the NFL more than college football, because I'm not surprised, like, when I see a team that puts up 60 or 70 on someone, like, well, that's routine. Who are they playing? North Dakota State. Right?
Something like that, yeah.
I'm entering dangerous territory, am I?
A little bit. I'm not a college football guy. Like,
okay.
I care about it, or not care about it, but like I watch it. I had strong opinions on the last decision day for the playoff, but
that was not that big of a deal because Florida State was going to lose to Michigan anyway.
Yeah. They did get their butts kicked, so fair enough.
Yeah, by Georgia, rightfully so. But that's my argument with Saban. Like, I'm not tarnishing his accomplishments. I'm not tarnishing his legacy with Alabama or LSU or with wherever he was. But for God's sakes, like, really? We're putting this guy on the pedestal who consistently, played against Jacksonville State every week?
I think the big argument that a lot of people are making, which is kind of fair, is that, like, you don't win that many national titles by accident.
No, I'm not tarnishing his accomplishments or the fact that he had more first-round draft picks than losses, which is stupid to think about.
Like, that is absolutely stupid.
Which is stupid to think about. He had, 10 losses or 12 losses his entire tenure at Alabama? How long was he the Alabama head coach? 2009. 2009, right?
Let me check.
Someone Google. I forgot there's only 2 of us here. That's on me. That's on me.
On January 3rd, 2007, Nick Saban officially accepted the head coaching position.
Who, by the way, was the previous head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And for those who say, oh, Nick Saban could coach the NFL, no, he can't. I'll die on this hill. Not every great college coach is a great NFL coach. I'm sorry. I'm going to clip this. I'm going to get screamed at, and I already know it.
Probably.
And that's fine. I'll take the hit. I will take the hit. But what the hell? Like, we're calling Alabama the best college football team ever. Like, for God's sakes, people. Like, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes was incredible. That Miami team was amazing. Nebraska? Let's not forget Nebraska in the 90s. I wish we had Mike on here. He'd be perfect to ramble with this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the biggest college football guy, I forgot.
No.
It's all right.
But that's mostly because UCLA just sucks. Chip Kelly's got to go.
All right.
That's my whole reasoning for that. For
That's
why
your
I don't watch
whole
college
reason. That's literally your accomplishment. That's your accomplishment. Your single contribution to this entire subject is
UCLA should fire Chip Kelly so that I can start caring about college football again.
All right.
That's all I got.
That's all he's got. Can we talk about the Patriots, please?
Sure.
Bill Belichick retired after 24 years. Well, he didn't retire. He parted ways with the Patriots in 24 years. He's going to the Chargers.
He's, I think he retires, if I'm being honest with you.
How old is he? 71?
Old. Something like that.
He's old. Great contribution there, Jack, once again. Jack's on a roll.
Bill Belichick is, he's 71.
Jack's on a... That fucking sound.
I think that people have been talking about like a so-called mystery team that is trying to
the Titans.
I think it might be the Titans. I think personally, Bill Belichick, it would be
watch him go to Atlanta.
Fitting of this mystery team for him to go to Dallas.
Watch him go to the Falcons. That'd be hilarious. I
say Dallas. They don't have like a head coach opening.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
People were mentioning Dallas for some reason. I don't know why.
Like,
what?
If they fire Mike McCarthy, then that's only to promote Dan Quinn as the head coach. Which, by the way, again,
they're not going to fire Mike.
They're not going to fire McCarthy.
What team was it? What team was I?
The Raiders.
No.
I need a clock. Like the Price is Right. I need that sound.
I'm trying to find the head coach openings.
Oh, I have him. I have him on me. Seahawks, Titans, Washington, Raiders, Falcons, Chargers, Panthers. Did we lose track? Nice voice.
No, I got a list. I'm just thinking about like which team. Atlanta would be funny.
Atlanta would be fucking hilarious. Which, by the way, why did the Falcons fire Arthur Smith?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Actually, I kind of do know. I think it was just another case of the coach wasn't getting the job done.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we were to talk to Falcon fans, they would say you couldn't get Kyle Pitts involved. You couldn't get Bijan Robinson involved. You couldn't get Drake London involved. I see where they're coming from here.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I do.
I just don't know. My thing is, I don't think he's going to be capable of saving the Chargers at all. Is he going to make them better? Sure, but like, no. It's the Chargers here. Like, what have they ever done? What big hire has ever like gotten them out of that like pit that they're in. Like what? It's just not. I don't think it's feasible.
I mean, let's be honest here. The Chargers are fucked. They're straight fucked.
That's another thing too. Like they're going to be in salary cap.
Oh, they're going to cut so many people. I mean, did you see BS Sessions with 35 with Jackson Bevins?
I don't think I did.
Oh, it's on YouTube. That dude, by the way, I might say, Jackson, that dude has a glorious beard. He has an immaculate beard. That's the only reason I'll do live streams is for BS Sessions.
Just for his beard?
No, that dude has a great beard, and like honestly, he has some good football knowledge.
Fair enough.
Fun guest. The Panthers one fascinates me. I think, okay, let's have some fun here. I think we can all agree to some point that the Seahawks job is the best available head coach.
It's one
opening.
of the best available.
It's one of the best openings. The Raiders are up there, but then again, they'd be stupid to not retain Antonio Pierce. The Panthers are up there because of their roster is not too bad, and they have Bryce Young, the first overall pick. Right?
Right.
That's not a bad thing to say. The Commanders' job fascinates me.
That's another one that I think Belichick might consider.
That's an interesting one because they have Curtis Samuel, Scary Terry McLaurin. By the way, that's one of the greatest nicknames for receiver ever. And Jahan Dotson, along with a pretty decent offensive line, a pretty good defense. And I think Bieniemy gets that job. I think yes. Yes, they hire Eric Bieniemy. I think it's time.
I think there's a reason why Bieniemy hasn't been hired yet still.
Criminal record?
I didn't know that was involved. No, that wasn't what I was
it
gonna
was
say.
involved. There was actually like some minor criminal record involved with Eric Bieniemy.
I was going to say, too, he just didn't interview very well.
No, that too. That too. The Chargers job, I think if you get hired by the Chargers, you have to prepare to lose for a couple years.
Yeah. I mean,
stink it up with Herbert.
It has to be one of those jobs where you kind of realize that, like, you're not going to be doing a lot of winning, like, right within the first year. You have to be willing to to be the coach that is willing to take on a rebuild.
By the way, it's the David Culley thing, right? With the Texans, like you have to be prepared to suck it up for a year or two. Despite, like, just you're a scapegoat for the big problem, which they got rid of the problem when Tom Telesco, the Chargers, did.
Tom Telesco, Brandon State. I mean, the whole thing was a mess.
Fuck you, Spanos. By the way, the name of this episode is The Soundboard War.
Let's go.
Delightful times indeed. I think we're just gonna have fun with like soundboards.
Honestly,
I could dig this for a long time.
I have so much fun with soundboards with some of my friends when we watch football games.
Oh, it's great.
It's the best.
Oh, it's great. What do the Panthers do?
I don't know. I think it's a similar situation with the Panthers, if I'm being completely honest.
Let's assume here that Belichick retires.
Okay.
Let's assume Belichick retires unless he wants to go after the all-time wins record. Let's just assume that.
Okay.
If you're Carolina and you want to make the most out of Bryce Young, okay, we want to see what this kid has. Just go after a guy who you know can connect with a quarterback really well. Who would you go after?
assuming Belichick retires,
Yeah, there's not a lot out there.
I mean, it's a tough call. And like whatever I say, it's not even taking into account like all of the coordinators that are getting job offers.
I'll throw one out for you. Brian Schottenheimer.
Okay.
With the Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer, let's be real, is a good offensive coordinator. Brian Schottenheimer, I think he was with the Rams for a hot minute. Right?
I don't know.
Google Brian Schottenheimer, please.
Okay.
Because if I remember him from the Jets, I remember him from the Seahawks, I remember him from the Colts.
He was an assistant with the Rams in '97.
Brian Schottenheimer?
Yep.
In '97?
'97. And then it's there
Hold
again
on.
from 2012 to 2014. He was our offensive coordinator.
That's the one I was thinking of. 2011 to 2012. Thank you for your contributions there, Jack. Once again, but Brian Schottenheimer, I think would be a good option. That's not a bad idea.
It might be worth a try.
It's worth a shot. I mean, let's be honest here. You got to suck it up and go and deal with David Tepper. Which, whoever they hire GM has to deal with his ass too, because let's be honest here, I think a lot of people were not thinking, hey, let's trade everything and everyone to go get Bryce Young. Who, by the way, might not be as good as people say he is, but who knows? Right?
I don't think Bryce Young is as bad as people say he is, but I'm going to clear up right now that they should have drafted CJ Stroud. I think that
hard to say.
I think that was probably a better pick.
Here's the thing. The big argument you can make is Bryce Young was selected to be first overall because of two reasons. One, Heisman Trophy winner. Two, top quarterback at Alabama. Three, the quarterback for the top team in the nation in Alabama. And he was a top quarterback prospect out of high school. He was going to go first overall, regardless. It's the Trevor Lawrence debate. Trevor Lawrence, the second he took the field in the national title game against Alabama, was going first overall whenever he was getting drafted. I sense Jack is typing.
I'm not. Yeah, that was me typing. I'm just searching for more stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jack
but yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, it's like that's the argument. As good as we want to make Stroud, and it's still up for debate because of the Ohio State quarterback curse, they were taking Bryce Young regardless.
Sure. I mean, I think it's worth a shot. Trying to I don't think what I'm I can't form sentences today. My brain is just that's my brain right now.
Perfect sound. Perfect sound. That's great. That was perfect. That was just unnecessarily perfect.
I don't even remember what I was talking about.
I don't know. You were thinking of something. Your brain clicked.
Bryce Young. It was Bryce Young.
Thank you.
You're basically in a situation. I don't want to use the word stuck, but that's kind of what it is. You kind of have to see what you got and see if he can still develop, because you don't want to just look at that one trash year and be like, oh yeah, no, they should have taken CJ Stroud, because they've both, which is what I just said, but they've both played just 1 year in the National Football League. We need to make that abundantly clear that this has just been one season, and there's no telling that this was just a one season thing. It could be a thing where both of those quarterbacks were destined for greatness, or they both just end up sucking next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big argument there. I mean, That's a really big argument.
You kind of just have to I don't know. I don't even remember what the initial point of the whole conversation was, so I don't know what I'm trying.
Head coaching jobs.
Yeah. Who the Chargers actually just interviewed Todd Monken. He's the Raiders' offensive coordinator.
The
Ravens offensive coordinator.
By the way, here's another one. Mike McDonald, the Ravens DC. He's going to get a job. Right? You would think
Possibly.
so?
Possibly.
I would think so. I would absolutely believe so.
You know who I think is going to get a job, and I hope doesn't,
Raheem
because
Morris?
selfishly, Raheem Morris, I think, is probably going to get looked at by a few. He's already been interviewed by a few teams, so I think he deserves it. But obviously,
of course.
selfishly, I want him to stay. But that's just how it is in the NFL.
What are you going to do?
Not a whole lot.
We got one more topic to get to before we close up shop for the day. So with that being said, we'll take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. And if you hear that sound, that is Donut playing in the background. Because she's an agent of chaos. Life continues. Be right back, ladies and gentlemen. You can't look this good talking some BS without a great haircut. Hey guys, it's Staniel Smooth here from Time to BS, and I want to talk to you guys about our newest friends of the show, Hardway Barbershop, located in the hidden gem of Long Island in Blue Point, New York. Hardway Barbershop will be sure to give you a nice clean cut and beard trim for all your stylish needs. And for some sweet prices too. So what are you waiting for? Book your next haircut appointment at Hardway Barbershop today.
It's time to BS.
We made it to the playoffs.
We did it.
We did it.
We played. We suffered through 17 weeks, 18 weeks.
18 weeks. That's a fine. Your brain is not on par today, isn't it? It's been a long day for you.
Yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a bit of a
long fucking day for you.
I've been all over the place, but playoffs are hype. Like this is it. And I'm hoping as a fan of the Rams, I'm hoping that we're able to prove a lot of teams wrong. A lot of media, a lot of doubters incorrect.
Yeah. No arguing with that. No arguing with that at all. So with that being said, let's go through Wild Card Weekend, if I could find it somewhere. There it is. So here we go. Wild Card Weekend. Start with the Saturday slate of games. The Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco is elite. Going to Houston to take on the 4-seeded Texans.
How about that game? That's a fun one.
That's a meme-filled game.
It's a meme-filled game, but it's a fun one because, like, it's the quarterback matchup is just so fun to think about. It's so fun. It's fun to think about C.J. Stroud and how good he's been as a rookie, and then he's going up against Joe Flacco, who came off his couch and he's been hauling ass.
Literally.
Like, oh my God, he came out of nowhere.
I'm picking Cleveland. I'm picking Cleveland to win by a close one. I think Houston,
I'm
I think Houston's going to be there soon.
They are. I think I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you and pick Cleveland just because Houston, it feels like, is like they're. I think they're dealing with some injury problems still. Granted, that hasn't stopped C.J. Stroud. I don't think it should stop C.J. Stroud again. I think he's gonna be fine. But this is the time of year where that kind of stuff really does matter. So I feel like Cleveland is. It's funny I say that because Cleveland is on their fifth starting quarterback as of week 18. So.
The Miami Dolphins traveling to Kansas City to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. The Kansas City Frauds, or the Kansas City Swifts. The Kansas City Swifties. Third time's a charm.
I hate to be the person who roots in favor, and this is not me rooting in favor of the Swifties, but this game belongs to Kansas City through and through, and I say that mostly because of the weather.
Oh, it's gonna be cold.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means necessary. I think that the Chiefs. I don't know how they're going to play up to. I don't think the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. I'm going to get that out of the way right now. Absolutely not.
They are,
but.
I called them the Kansas City Frauds at first for a reason.
Exactly. But the thing that I'm trying to say is that the Chiefs, I mean, again, I don't want to base my pick just on the weather, but at the same time, it's like Miami's used to playing in Miami. The Dolphins are used to playing in Miami. They have like the warmer temperatures in that part of the world and stuff like that. It's like now you're going into a game that has record cold potential, and it's just like, are they really going to show up? Is Tua really going to show up in that weather? I don't think it was a very good omen either that Tua kind of fell apart. Like the Dolphins, it felt like they were kind of in control of a lot of what was happening in that game against Buffalo last Sunday night, but Tua just couldn't show up. He threw a pick at the end of the game, so it's like
I want chaos. I want chaos.
That game's going to be chaos.
I want chaos. Give me the Dolphins in overtime. 17-14. I want chaos. I want chaos. Just give me chaos. Just how hard is that to ask?
He wants his chaos, folks.
I want it. Give me what I want. No one got that? All right, fine. Next up, the Pittsburgh Frauds, or the Pittsburgh Shits, go to Buffalo, take on the Bills and the Church of Josh Allen.
Yeah, this is. Remember when I said that last game might be close? This one will not be close.
No, Buffalo's going to smoke them
by a country mile.
We say that as the Steelers, by the way, just are in every game.
They are.
Shockingly.
And I expect that. You know what? I expect them to be in this game too. But this is I think the Bills are just a significantly better team. I don't think there's really too much arguing there.
The Packers and the Cowboys and Big D. The Packers are going to give Big D that Big D because Big D is their bitch. I'm proud of that one. I'm so proud of that. I'm Packers because the Packers own Dallas for some fucking reason.
That, and it's just the Cowboys in the playoffs.
Yeah, that too.
I don't trust Dallas in the playoffs. I mean, like I will say, Dallas has not lost at home this season, so you have to take that into account.
Yeah, I hear you with that part.
But I mean, like I feel like the way Jordan Love has been playing too. I hate that the Rams did not go and get Carson Wentz earlier because the game that they started Brett Rippon in against the Packers. Not that it did too much to the Rams season. They still finished in the seat ahead of the Packers, but the Packers are only in because they got that spark from beating the Rams that badly. Like it was 20-3 was the final score. They could do nothing with the football the whole game.
Oh, you're going to hate my Super Bowl pick then.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're going to hate it. You're going to hate it.
I don't want to hate it, but I feel like I'm going to hate it.
You're going to hate it.
Are Are we getting that far, or are we just predicting the wild card?
Oh, we're getting to the Super Bowl picks the whole 9 yards. By the way, San Francisco and Baltimore are the top 2 seeds in their respective conferences. Detroit, Motor City Dan Campbell biting off them kneecaps of them boys, taking on Jack and his Rams. I sense confidence.
The Los Angeles Rams are going to win that game. I don't know how much. I think it's going to be a tough one, a scrappy one. If you say Detroit, I will punch through my screen, through my monitor.
Okay, let's be real, though. Fanhood completely aside.
How much more real can we get?
How awesome would it be if Detroit won a Super Bowl? How awesome.
It'd be cool.
It'd be amazing.
I'd hate that it would have come at the expense of the Rams slightly, but I wouldn't be mad at them. This trade...
Here we go.
The trade between the Rams and Lions involving Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, that's a fun discussion to get into because there are some people I know out there that are talking about how this game might decide the outcome of this trade. No.
Death, taxes, and Jack talking the Rams.
It's a win-win.
Pretty much.
Trade's a win-win. Let's get that out of the way now.
It's a win-win, absolutely.
The Lions, the Rams made the trade to win a Super Bowl. They already did that. That's their. But you cannot say the Rams lost the trade in any sense of the word.
No, you can't.
The Lions made the trade to be in the position they're in now. They basically wanted to say, okay,
we're gonna bite the kneecaps.
Yeah, we're gonna bite kneecaps. If Jared Goff is the guy, we have our guy. If he's not the guy, we have the assets to build up. So we just wait it out. We ride the wave, and then we get the pieces that we need with the capital, with all the draft capital that we have to build to get into this point. They just happen to be, I'd say, maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. And because Jared Goff has proven to be playing great. That being said, Matthew Stafford is the better quarterback in this matchup. Let's not get it twisted.
No,
and this guy is the soul snatcher for a reason. He's going to come into this game and play like he's been a top 5 quarterback all season, and he's going to play like it. He's absolutely going to play like it this week, and I think the Lions are in for, I don't want to say a rude awakening, but actually, I am going to say a rude awakening. It's not going to be a blowout by any means. I think it's going to be a close one. Maybe we have a shootout in our hands. I will say it hurts them a lot if they don't have they have a big name that was hurting. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I completely forgot.
Jameson Williams?
No, not Jameson Williams.
What team?
Lions.
LaPorta.
Yeah, Sam LaPorta. If he goes, it sounds like he might go. Then credit to him if he does. But like, I don't care. That's the thing too. Some people are saying, "Oh, I'd rather beat them at full strength." I don't care about whether a team is at full strength or not. I don't give a shit. It's the playoffs. I want them to win. And they are very capable of winning. I haven't even said Puka Nakua's name yet.
The tribe of Puka Nakua.
He's going to go off. Him and Cooper Kupp together, I think they've already had a couple of games where he exploded. Puka Nakua, by the way, the new rookie leader in receptions and receiving yards all time in a rookie season by anyone. No one else has done what he's done. And
Can I say Tampa destroys Philadelphia?
Yes. I think you can't say that. I think it's fair to say I've lost all my confidence in the Eagles.
Tampa Bay wins by 20.
Yeah.
Wow, you didn't argue with me.
By 20?
Yes.
I don't know about like 20, but I'm going to give credit where it's due.
38-18.
30. I don't know. The thing is, I'm going to say credit to where it's due for Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield has come out of nowhere.
Baker Mayfield looks like
he had that career resurgence when he spent like a few weeks with the Rams. He kind of realized that he's still that dude. Like he can still ball out. So
amazingly, what happens when you play with Sean McVay?
I know, right? It's kind of crazy stuff right there.
Yeah.
But he's shown that it's not just like a coaching thing. Like he knows what he's doing. He knows that we know now that he's capable of balling out, and he's been showing it these last season this last season and a half, I'll say. So.
Yeah. Detroit and Baltimore for the Super Bowl in Vegas.
You have Detroit and I wouldn't hate that Super Bowl, to be completely honest.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
Here's the train I'm on. Here's the train that I'm on.
It involves the Rams.
It does involve the Rams.
Shocker.
If the Rams cannot beat the 49ers, I think it's a 49ers Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win it. They're not going to win it by any means, but I think they get there because I don't see another team in the NFC stopping this team. Maybe Detroit has a chance.
Yeah.
But Detroit would need to play a perfect game.
I mean, we all know what Detroit likes to do.
That we do.
Bite the kneecaps.
They love their kneecaps.
Can we throw that out there? That press conference, that industrial press conference with Dan Campbell, was one of the greatest press conferences I've ever seen.
That was legendary.
Oh, it was amazing.
I loved that press conference.
Oh,
I think
so
there were
great.
some people that were hating on it, and I was looking back at the media and talking and like people were saying like that was terrible. What the hell? That's awesome for him to come out of nowhere to a franchise that's been struggling for as long as it has, and to say that they're gonna bite kneecaps.
I dig.
I mean,
awesome.
he's just that good, and he's showing it too. Like he's been.
It's great. Yeah, he deserves it.
He's capable of doing what he said that he was going to do. It epitomizes Detroit perfectly, I'd say.
Absolutely, he took his idea and made it literally. Good for fucking him.
I hope he loses on Sunday, but
shocker of the day.
You know, I'm not going to root against the Lions if they win. I'm going to make that clear right now. I don't think Rams fans and Lions fans, there's beef this weekend, but I don't think that there's going to be like, oh, screw you forever for the rest of all time if the Lions win, or if like it's going to be like, I think Rams fans, I would hope that Rams fans stay classy in defeat, but I don't think they're going to lose this game.
I think we're going to have some fun here. But as long as we don't get San Francisco in the Super Bowl, we're fine.
And I don't think they're going to get to the Super Bowl.
Please.
I hope not. I don't think they're going to win it.
Please. Your pick for MVP of the NFL before we close up shop.
Oh, man. MVP pick is hard. I'm going to go...
Let's be clear here. The MVP is also known as most valuable quarterback.
Yes. 100%.
Stupid. That's what I need. The world's smallest violin sound.
The world's smallest violin.
I need to find that. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it and download it. You know what? I'm going to do it tonight. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
MVP.
You know what? Give me.
It's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson. I don't know why it was lost on me for a little bit. It's Lamar Jackson. You can't look at the performances that he's had this season and say it's not him. It's not Brock Purdy. I'm going to get that out of the way right now.
The NFL wants Brock Purdy more.
I know.
Than anything
the
else.
49ers hive mind is going to get them to win Brock Purdy. Give the MVP to Brock Purdy, and I think it's bullshit.
No.
He has not been playing at an NFL level. I think if we're especially going by the metric that everybody loves to go by, who is the best quarterback in the league? Who is the most valuable quarterback to their team? Or who the most valuable player to their team?
It's Lamar.
Look at the way Brock Purdy played when CMC and Debo went down. Here's your evidence.
Here's another argument. Another argument. If you're playing for a coach who made Brian Hoyer look like a competent quarterback on two different occasions...
Oh, my God.
I will die on this hill. Kyle Shanahan made Brian Hoyer in Cleveland and in San Francisco look like a competent quarterback. I will die on this hill. I sense distraught from Jack.
There's distraughtness, yeah.
Why? Look,
I don't know.
He made Jimmy Garoppolo a Super Bowl quarterback.
He did.
Okay.
But Garoppolo fell apart in pressure situations anyway, so.
Okay, here's another argument. He made Matt Ryan into a league MVP. Right?
Sure.
That might be the worst one I've said.
I think about Shanahan. I'm like, what has gone wrong for him over the course of his career, though? And it's like, yeah,
that was a terrible sound.
That was a bad sound, but that's exactly it. Like he's always like doing these things to make these players seem a lot better than they are. And then when they get to the big games, the big situations, they choke. Garoppolo fell apart in Super Bowl 40. It was Super Bowl
50 something.
51.
No, it
not
wasn't.
51. That was the Falcons game. 54. That's what it was. It was Super Bowl 54. He fell apart with the lead in that game. And then you're enjoying your Yoshi sound effects a lot, aren't you?
Yes, I very much am.
The soundboard war.
The
soundboard war.
It has killed you.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
you are dying a painful death listening to all this.
Why would I die a painful death?
It's not painful.
Why would it be a painful death?
I don't know.
Let's be honest here.
You're laughing so hard your sides hurt.
If I were to die a painful death, just throw me into a shark tank.
Kyle Shanahan, I was just talking about like we talked about the Super Bowl 51, we talked about the Super Bowl 54, the NFC Championship game against the Rams fell apart in that one. Garoppolo fell apart in that one. He was the Rams basically eliminated the run game thanks to Eric Weddle coming off of his couch, and they couldn't get anything going, so they had to force Garoppolo to like drop back and throw the ball. And when they got into that situation, the Rams dialed up the pressure. Garoppolo made mistake after mistake and then almost got sacked, threw a pick, lost the game. And then he got hurt in his last year in San Francisco, and then he got benched. I think it's fair to say that Kyle Shanahan has made a lot of quarterbacks look better than they are.
Thank you.
If that was your initial point, then yeah, I see where you're coming from. But At the end of the day,
Johnny Manziel.
At the end of the day, the job is still not getting done with Shanahan. So that's just what I don't see it happening with the 49ers.
Yeah. Good argument. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode of Time to BS with Staniel Smooth. This has been episode 203. As per usual, we're coming to you from the lovely beaches of Long Island, New York, blah, 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 blah. We're all tired.
We're exhausted. But we're ready for playoff football. I think that's what matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Staniel Smooth, and I will see you all in this life or the next one.